Okay, so today I came here looking like shit because I went to the airport to drop Sophie at 3 a.m., 3:30 a.m. But anyways, I actually came here to talk about this camera. Talking about the R5. Is it still worth it 3 years later? And how it was when I bought it. When I bought it, it was an amazing camera. It had the most beautiful image at the time, at the pricing level. It wasn't a cheap camera. It was actually kind of expensive if you look at the environment of that moment in time for a mirrorless camera. But as far as the image went and the quality of image and the possibilities it gave, everything it had for its price point, it was the best camera at the time in my opinion, and that's why I went with it. And because the Canon colors are so good. It's kind of super good, almost straight out of camera. This camera here kind of pushed my career forward. Well, it shoots 4K, it shoots full frame, it does 120 FPS with some limitations. It has battery life amazing. I want to say 43 megapixels. It shoots 45 megapixels. It's a very good camera for its price point, and it also shoots 8K, kinda. Oh, it does. It shoots 8K. It does. Anyways, is it still worth it? To be honest, I literally just recommended this camera for a friend instead of recommending the R5C. That's because the overheating situation kind of has been solved. It has IBIS, it's easier to shoot by yourself. The autofocus is amazing, it's insanely good, and even better than the video mode autofocus for the R5C. So what I really wanted to say is this is a camera that is still worth it 3 years after its launch. And if you're looking for a camera right now, it's in an amazing price point. It's a great camera for professional photo shoots. It's I mean, it's basically a very very good camera. You've been seeing, like, during the video, some examples of footage I've shot with it. I'd say the biggest amount of work I've done was with this camera. And sometimes when I do not want to go to the hassle of having to change 300 batteries or having to bring in a V-mount, when I want to, like, just shoot handheld video and as quick and easy as possible, this is still my go-to camera. So in conclusion, it is very much still worth it. I'd even go with this camera instead of a bunch of other new cameras that were just launched, because this is still a very good camera. And beyond this point here, I don't think you have much more to get out of a camera like at this price point. And if I were to recommend someone a new camera to get, this would be the one. And if you're in that budget range. Besides that, well, the only big issue I've always had with this camera was the overheating situation. And I cannot say that it was really a problem for me at any point, because every time I was shooting with it, I was always looking at the timer so I wouldn't run into the overheating situation. And the 30-minute limit for the recording was never a problem for me, because I've always shot fashion films, mostly fashion films. So what I always needed were short scenes, short takes, and takes of one specific look. And well, there was one time where I had a situation with this camera, but it wasn't that much of a big deal, because when it overheat, it was in the middle of the lunchtime. We stopped, I opened all the camera's holes, and the overheating went away. And after lunch, we kept shooting. So anyways, this is still an amazing camera, and in comparison to the R5C, I'd say the colors in the R5C are a little bit better and kind of a little bit deeper, and you have some good better codecs, which you don't have here. The footage is kind of heavy in this camera, and the R5C has better codecs. But besides that, everything about this camera is amazing. Battery life, resolution, frame rate, color science, everything here is amazing. So yes, it is still very much worth it camera till this day. And over the years, the firmware updates kind of fixed to some extent the overheating situation. Of course, if you're shooting when 120 FPS, you have to be very careful, and like some minutes it's gonna overheat. Well, it does shoot 8K, but it's very limited on the 8K situation. But still, for most of the situations, you're not gonna need more than 4K. You probably, I mean, the 8K situation is gonna happen in some years, not now. But anyways, that's what I wanted to talk about this in this video. I hope I was able to clarify some things for you. And if anything, hit me up.